Japanese culture is something that I've been influenced by for a long time. I'd been watching anime my whole life, you know, also Captain Majid or Captain Tsubasa as he'd be called in Japan, you know, so there was the anime angle that started influencing me. There's just a real poetic nature to everything they do, and there's just so much kind of depth to it all. And Asics as a brand has always made really great quality shoes, you know, as a Japanese brand. The pair that really started it all for me was the Nike SB Send Helps, and it was done in collaboration with Consolidated Skateboards. For me, you know, weird colorways was always what drew me to a shoe, whether it was a GR or a super limited pair. You know, seeing a shoe in colors that you don't normally see. You know, something like the Awake Gel Kayano 5360, you know, that was a pair that kind of came out of nowhere. And, you know, to be fair, Awake stuff has gotten a lot more hype since then, but I mean, it was designed by Angelo Bach, who is the creative director at Supreme, and then he went off to start his own brand, and it was just more kind of simple, just fun concepts, cool colors, nice cuts, very, very basic, very wearable. And he took that approach and brought it to Asics, and at the time, you know, you had the dad shoe was starting to become a big trend, you know, it was all about these bulky shoes, so he had kind of caught on to that early. He chose the silhouette that, you know, nobody knew anything about, the Gel Kayano 5360, you know. He did it in a colorway that was it's not something I would have thought of. I mean, silver, I hate silver shoes, but it's just he had that, and then he mixed it with this kind of pastel lime green, and then the kind of the yellowed sole, and I think he was one of the first people who was bringing in that whole yellowed sole thing. I don't know what it was, I think it kind of reminded me of the chlorophyll Air Max 1, you know, the patas, but on just this really crazy silhouette, and it's subtle, it's, you know, it's more me, I'm starting to get more adult, I'm starting to mellow out with my colors. It's kind of interesting for me. I feel sneakers are art, you know, and that's one of the reasons I do collect them. In terms of colorways, it's I tend to look at a lot of things. I'm influenced by comic book covers and certain toys, and you know, one thing I tell people is 80s Transformers, I could design 300 different shoes based on those colorways. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a way of taking the dad shoe and just making it look cool, and it's functional, and yeah, love it.